Yo people, welcome back to another video. Now after Friday Night SmackDown, I think more than ever that Paul Heyman will side with Seth Rollins. This feud seems like it's intentionally making Seth seem like a third wheel, and usually at a basic storyline level, whenever a character who is in the spotlight gets made to go into the shadows, it's because it's a quick way to make you think that nothing's happening with the character or to make you overlook them, and then the character will pop out of nowhere and deliver a shock moment. I'm seeing more and more people completely ignore Seth Rollins' role in this feud as Paul Heyman takes center stage between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. People are saying that Paul Heyman's already picked a side, but why would WWE give us an answer of where Paul Heyman's allegiance is 2 weeks before Mania? Whenever they give us an answer to a mystery, it's never actually that answer. We saw it as recent as Naomi and Bianca Belair being shown the CCTV footage of the Jade Cargill incident, where WWE made it look like it was Raquel and Liv, but they didn't pump fake me then, and they're not pump faking me now. I'm telling you, this match only got the main event because they are preparing a shock ending. Obviously they can say that they did this so that CM Punk gets to main event WrestleMania, and they can spin it that way from a storyline perspective, but I think there will be a shock ending. It involves Paul Heyman siding with Seth Rollins as he wins this match. People will say, oh, this came out of nowhere. No. Seth is still being given small moments of foreshadowing and hints, like when Paul Heyman was waiting for Roman and Seth showed up. Seth also said in his promo that after his meltdown last week, he had some time to cool down, reassess things, and then he cut a promo about the reality of situations. And he says, you either suffer and get left behind, or you adapt and control reality. And as soon as he said that, there was this weird silence. He gave Roman this weird stare under those shades. It was a bit dodgy. As for realities, let me give you all a reality, one that I think WWE is doing a good job at gaslighting fans with, because people are forgetting that Paul Heyman is working for the bloodline, not Roman Reigns. He's worked for that family for decades, so yes, his loyalty belongs to the family, and right now that would be Roman Reigns. Now you're thinking, yeah, but that's done. He's decided he's going to help CM Punk. But both of these things can still be true. He still works for the family despite betraying Roman, and that's because of one man, which is the final boss. He is the high chief of the family. If we were to look at that family, Paul Heyman's true loyalty would actually reside with the final boss more than the tribal chief, as his rank is higher than Roman's. The theory would be that Seth has sold his soul just like Cena did to the final boss. The Rock still hasn't got his revenge on Roman Reigns for losing at Mania last year and working with Cody Rhodes at Bad Blood, so his first move would be working with Roman's biggest rival. We know Roman's kryptonite is Seth Rollins. Despite the tribal chief being this cool guy with the huge aura, Seth is the only guy who gets under his skin. At the Rumble, Roman lost via disqualification because he was more interested in destroying Seth Rollins than winning the actual match. At Mania last year, Roman focused more on Seth than Cody, and it cost him the title. Seth mentioned this last night. What this would do is have Seth become the top heel on Raw, which, to be honest, Seth is always better in my opinion as a heel, but also Raw is in a dire need of a top heel. The Gunther stocks are going down weekly. I don't care if he made Jimmy bleed. Jimmy made that whole thing relevant, so let's not act like Gunther's stocks went up. Also, if we were to get Seth working with The Rock, it would show The Rock's presence weekly through Seth Rollins. If we look at some of the promos we've had for this triple threat feud, a lot of them have just hinted at Seth Rollins and he's not loyal and all of these kind of things. And this type of move from Seth to work with The Rock would be the type of slimy thing a heel Rollins would do to trigger both CM Punk and Roman Reigns, who he hates. This move would make him look like a genius as his character's meant to be, and this move would trigger Roman Reigns because yet again Seth Rollins is behind the huge betrayal involving Roman Reigns. Last time it was a Shield, this time it's destroying his bloodline from within. He's taken away his wise man, but on top of that, it would be seen as the final boss's first direct attack on Roman Reigns. This whole thing would put Roman in a new position because now he won't have his wise man, and it would be time to see a new Roman Reigns, one without the wise man, and he'll probably look to build a new super bloodline. Stay tuned for that video. I'll have my theory on how that would work. All of this would be a 1 year build up before we get the story and the match that finally ends the bloodline saga, which is Roman versus Rock. As for CM Punk, he'll obviously feel betrayed as well. I think Seth pins Punk to win the match, so that will trigger Punk in and of itself that he lost and he got pinned, and they could potentially finish that feud at those pay-per-views that come after WrestleMania, as Seth goes on to challenge for the World Heavyweight title after that feud. One other small mention as to why this would work is because Seth's heel turn would also affect Cody Rhodes, Mr. Quarterback, Mr. Face of WWE, all this PR smoke that gets blown in everyone's face. And the reason is because, like we saw last year, Seth was his shield for his win at Mania last year. and to see him turn heel would be another stab in the back for him. But overall, I think Seth has the most to gain from this move, and Seth also has nothing to lose unless he would get pinned by Punk, which I don't think is going to happen. As I stated in a previous video, Seth Rollins' Wrestlemania streak as of the last 6 to 7 years is dreadful, so he's owed a massive win at some point because he's just let everyone beat him at Mania recently. It's time for him to get a win that actually counts and does something. But yeah, as always, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Who do you think will win this feud? Who will Paul Heyman choose to help? All of that stuff. I'd appreciate if you could like the video and sub to the channel. Thank you for your time.